welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we are going to have full reaction to Barca's Copa del Rey victory. We are through, unlike Real Madrid. We did manage to beat Racing Santander thanks to a second half rally from the team. We're going to be discussing all of that and having Hansi Flick's reaction, but alongside of that too, it is the January transfer window. There is a little bit moving around right now in terms of transfers. We're going to be discussing a deal that has not happened for Barca, and also one that is likely to, involving Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, but there is a twist, and there's a sort of feeling that maybe it's not a great deal for us. So we're going to be talking about that. It is coming up. Come on, guys, and let's do this. But I would like to begin right here today, guys, with a big thank you indeed to Sadhu, to Jordan, to Valentino, and to Robert here. Starting off the brand new year, I have had some really kind super thanks donations coming in on the channel, and I really do appreciate the support there from all of you. But let's kick off with Barca's win over Racing in the Copa del Rey, because quite honestly, guys, it was the kind of game that I was expecting last night. You know, gone are the days, in my opinion, right now, when you come up against teams, you know, in the second division, especially Racing, who were top of La Liga 2, it's never going to be easy. You know, they are going to bring their A game. It's a massive game for them. Great atmosphere, I've got to say, inside of the stadium. And I do think they played well. You know, they played a good style of play. They gave it their absolute best. And it did take time here for Barca to get that opening goal. And it did take, in my opinion, a big change coming on there in the second half. Fermin Lopez, he had a great impact on the game. He really did indeed. Ferran Torres getting the opening goal for Barca. And in the end, it took right up until the 95th minute to make absolutely sure of the win. Lamine Yamal getting on the score sheet. Rafinha involved as that as well. And quite clearly, you can see Barca had to use their absolute best. You know, we went out there with a strong lineup. We put players out there who needed to prove something. And ultimately, it's an important win. You know, after Real Madrid were embarrassingly knocked out of the Copa del Rey, we didn't want to follow that. We did not want to end up in the same way. So now I think it's important to listen to what Hansi Flick had to say, because he was actually asked in his post-match press conference there, did you talk about what happened to Real Madrid? Did you mention that there in your pre-match meeting? And it was interesting, I feel, the way that Flick spoke about the mentality of the team. Not only in terms of just this win, but what winning games like these mean. And he actually went on to say here that in these kinds of matches, it's the attitude that wins you the game. It's not always about quality. It's not always about the big names. It's about your attitude towards the performance. And this is powerful from Flick.
Look, that you know that for Racing Santander was maybe one of the biggest game in the last couple of years, and also for the players, and for us was the most important game, because we want to win today after winning the Supercopa. So it's not that you don't win these games because of your names. You win these games because of your attitude, and this is what I like from my team, though. So we play serious and seriously, and this is for me important, with the right attitude, the right mentality. But of course, what I can say, it's really, they Santander make it really good. So it's a good team. I wish them all the best for the season. Maybe next season we will see us again in La Liga, maybe, and so we're looking for that.
Because I think that's really important here, especially when you're looking at, say, Real Madrid losing the Copa del Rey. You know, it's not the most important tournament ever. It's not the worst defeat they're ever going to have. But for me, it's what that represents there. It's that lack of fight from the players. It's that lack of belief, really, in what you're doing. There's a lack of clarity there right now at Madrid. You look at Barca here, it's another win that we can put down. The streak continues. The confidence is still running through all of our players. That's what you want. You want to build a winning mentality. Whoever the opponent is, whatever the game is, whatever the competition is, you work hard. You have to work hard to win. That is what Hansi Flick demands of his players, and that is why yesterday will please him to no end. I also thought it was very interesting indeed to hear Hansi Flick talk in some detail about Fermin Lopez. Now, it's interesting right now that he continues to be linked away from the club here. There are plenty of rumours linking him still with that move to the Premier League, potentially there still to Chelsea, depending on the kind of money that they are going to be able to offer maybe in the near future. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. But in terms of the impact that Fermin had yet again yesterday, Flick was asked in the press conference there, have you ever coached a player with that kind of energy, with that ability within him to change games and really have that kind of impact? And again, Flick, in terms of Fermin, in terms of the profile of player that he is in the squad, he was full of praise for what he did yesterday and for the mentality he has too.
Well, Fermin is special, so it's I have to think a little bit, but no, Fermin is special. It's not every player is the same, and I like his attitude. I like his dynamic, and of course he can change. He can change every game with situations he create and with his dynamic, but also with the right pass, maybe also to score the goal, be in the right moment, in the right position. So he's good. He's very good for us.
So yet again, really, really interesting insights there from Hansi Flick, guys. And I'm really hoping that I can continue here to bring you these little clips of Flick on the channel. I do think it adds really to what we're talking about, to the analysis. I want to hear directly from him. And I want you to all hear as well in the way that Flick talks, in the way that he delivers some of these lines in the press conference. It's powerful. You can see the kind of message that the players are buying into every single day on the training ground. So I really, really hope that I can keep this coming, depending on whether YouTube and La Liga still allow me to do it. So let's just all keep our fingers crossed on that front. And like I say, guys, along with all of the football that is ongoing right now, there's also been plenty happening in the January transfer window. And let's start here by one that's gotten away from Barca in terms of Guehi, the centre-back there from Crystal Palace. Well, he is on his way this January to Manchester City. Because don't forget, guys, Guehi, he would have been a free agent in the summer there. Barca have been looking at him now for a number of months. They're looking for a top quality centre-back, and he was somebody who was really, really on their radar. And remember, in January, he could agree a move ahead of the summer with a foreign club. So that was really an advantage for somebody like Barca to come in and make that agreement. But today, it has been confirmed that Man City have won the race for the centre-back there. He will sign for 20 million. So basically here, Man City have got the money to pay 20 million for somebody who would have been free in just a few months' time, although that still looks like a decent deal for them. And I just want to mention here, guys, it's a shame I think that Guehi has gotten away. Top centre-backs, they are really a premium in the world of football right now. But just looking at Man City's January window, they signed Guehi here for 20 million on top of signing Semenyo from Bournemouth for 60 million euros. So that there for Pep, two incredible players coming in to help out his squad there. And it's a different ball game. It's a whole different world in the Premier League. If you want something, if you're a top-level coach and you need something, they will get it to you. You will have the players delivered to you on a golden platter. Oh, I'm not jealous at all. I'm really not. I can see why Pep wanted to stay there, by the way, for over a decade. But it's also been a pretty terrible day, I've got to say, for Crystal Palace, because it's announced today as well that Oliver Glasner, he is leaving at the end of the season, at the end of his contract right now. And I've just got to say, guys, I think the summer is going to be a crazy time for the coaching market. Because you look at it right now, Real Madrid, they're going to be on the lookout for somebody. Man United, they're going to be looking at somebody too. Possibly Chelsea, if things don't go too well for Liam Rosinia there. You've got maybe Luis Enrique, who's going to be on the move from PSG. Rumours right now about his future. Is he going to extend there? Is he going to walk away and look for a new project, Luis Enrique? I saw a rumour a few days ago when Xabi Alonso got sacked that Luis Enrique, he'd consider joining Real Madrid. Can I just say right now, he wouldn't. There is absolutely no way that Lucho would go anywhere near Real Madrid. So let's nip that one in the bud right here and now. But there's also been rumours as well about Jurgen Klopp. Could he end up as the Real Madrid coach? What would you guys make about that here? From the outside, from a Barca point of view, do you think that Klopp would succeed at Madrid? Would he be able to get on with the hierarchy, with Florentino Perez? Would he be able to control that dressing room? Would he enjoy working with all of those egos and in a sort of power play all the time? I think that would be interesting to see, and I'm not really convinced that's the move that Klopp would like to make back into management. But hey, let me know in in the comments down below here. But honestly, guys, in terms of transfers right now, obviously we have to talk about Marc-Andre Ter Stegen to Girona. Because on the one hand, you'd all be thinking usually, fantastic news. Ter Stegen, it looks as though he's finally going to be leaving the club, that he has now accepted a deal to go on loan to Girona. And isn't this good news for the club? Isn't this good that we're sort of moving on a player that clearly we're not counting on him? We haven't counted on him now for quite some time. Joan Garcia, he's our new number one, and he is the man for the future as well. We don't need Ter Stegen. The only problem is, this deal is horrible. This deal is absolutely, I'd say, embarrassing. I really would. I hate this deal. The only people here that would benefit from this deal is Ter Stegen himself. The club are not benefiting from this. And I'll tell you why. Ter Stegen is leaving on loan. Girona apparently will pay about 10% of his salary. About 10%. They're going to pay about €1 million to have him on loan. So already, Barca are pretty much paying all of his salary anyway. We're not even making much of a saving there in that department. Now, what this loan will enable him to do is potentially fulfill his dream of playing at the World Cup. The only leverage that Barca had in terms of shifting Ter Stegen was that World Cup dream. If you want to go and play, if you need to play, it's not going to be here. That's the only way we could get him out of the club. And still, the best that we could do is a loan where Girona are paying hardly anything for his wages, and at the end of it, he will just come back. And then, like I've said, he comes back in the summer, he comes back after the World Cup. Barca have no leverage, and he is still on a long-term contract at this club. Now, in a fantasy world, Barca think, oh, maybe he'll go to the World Cup, maybe he will play for Germany, maybe then clubs will be all over him. What makes you think Ter Stegen will leave? If he's not left the club now permanently, if he's not really shown any interest until the last minute in leaving in a World Cup year, what makes you think he will leave in the summer permanently? It's just not going to happen. And I just don't understand this from Barca. You know, at the end of the day, if he wasn't going to go permanently, if it wasn't going to be a better suited deal for the club, just leave him on the bench then. Why does it seem as though we're bending over backwards here to benefit Ter Stegen? We're paying nearly all of his salary. We're loaning him out to a local club. He doesn't even have to move house. He doesn't even have to alter anything in his life. It's all done for him. And he'll be back in the summer, and he will continue picking up massive wages at Barca. And then it's going to be so hard, so hard to shift him. I just don't get this. If I am Deco, if I am in charge of this situation, I just don't know what he's thinking. I really don't. So please, guys, right now, can you help me? You know, can you help shed any light at all on what the thinking may be from Deco, maybe from Barca here? Do you have any idea what they are thinking with this Ter Stegen deal other than just helping him for absolutely no reason at all? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Not just on that, but on everything that we have discussed in today's video. Big game coming up this weekend, this Sunday for Barca, away at Real Sociedad. We will be building up to all of that soon. Thank you indeed, though, for joining me here on the channel. Thank you for enjoying the videos, and I will see you soon. But until next time, as always, Veshka El Barca.